Hey, I'm Ethan, and welcome to the Lifespring. Thank you so much for being here today. If you're new with us, we want you to feel right at home. Heading into the holidays, it is our goal to continue making a positive impact in the community. The truth is, we are better together and reaching as many people for Christ as possible. And here are some great ways to get involved.
Thanks so much to all who came out for our first ever Service Saturday. We really are better together, and this is a great opportunity to serve our community. Our next one is November 16th from 10 to 2. See Pastor Dave for more details. Each Wednesday during the fall from 6:30 to 7:30 is Family Night here at the church. Adult Bible study, youth group, and children's activities make it a great time for all ages. We follow the school calendar and we look forward to seeing you there. A great way to get involved and discover your gifts and passions is to attend our pastor's breakfast. We believe the best way to reach families for Christ is together. All you have to do is see someone at our Connect Center and let them know you're interested in getting involved.
So there you have it. Be sure to check out Lifespring11102019A.
To your right. Your other right.
And our Facebook page for more events as well. To help us connect, please fill out one of these Life Connect cards and take it to the Connect Center just outside that door. You will get a free gift, a personal contact from Pastor Nate himself. And our team leaders will be reaching out to you as well. At this time, please stand and begin our worship.
Good morning, welcome to Lifespring Church. We are so glad that you're here with us today. We always consider it a privilege when we're able to come together and just worship God. We're going to start off with the morning today. I was buried beneath my shame. Who could carry that kind of weight? It was not true till I met you. I was breathing but not alive. All my failures I tried to hide. It was not true till I met you. You called my name and I ran out that grave. Out of the darkness to your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out that grave. Out of the darkness to your glorious day. Mercy has saved my soul. Now your freedom is all that I know. The only truth, Jesus, when I'm in you, you called my name and I ran out that grave. Out of the darkness to your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out that grave. Out of the darkness to your glorious day. I needed rescue, my sin was heavy. My chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I was an orphan. As you called me a sinner, son of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing. Now your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future. to our big idea. This is something that Pastor Nate likes us to go over right now, so you can be thinking about it. In the meantime, today's big idea is this. Thankfulness leads us into the presence of God, but ungratefulness always leads us away. Let me repeat that. Thankfulness leads us into the presence of God, but ungratefulness always leads us away. Be thinking about that while we take just a few minutes to greet one another. Shake a hand, hug a neck, talk to someone you don't know.
Sunday, how are you? Did you get any sleep? How are you? What's up, girl? How are you? What's up, dude? What's up, buddy? Hello. What's up? Oh, what's up? How are you? Weekend? I gave you some.
Trying to escape.
Meet Bob. Bob's been coming to church for a while now. Amidst the busyness of work and life, he wants to grow closer to the Lord, but he feels like something's missing. He reads his Bible, well, sometimes. He's attending a home group, and even listening to podcasts of old sermons. But try as he might, he just feels like something's missing. Then Bob heard a teaching on giving financially. He felt a little convicted, knowing that he and his family were not regularly tithing 10%. But he wondered, does God really command me to give the first 10% to the church? Does the church really even need the money? Or what's in it for me? Why should I give? Bob decided to dig a little deeper and look into it for himself. So he opened his Bible and really didn't know where to look. So he Googled Bible passages about money. He was very surprised to find a large number of verses about tithing, and not just in the Old Testament. Jesus himself taught about tithing to the local church. Now Bob was really feeling convicted. He was beginning to see why the tithe was so important. It wasn't about the church needing money or trying to scam him in some way. It was a question of the heart. Bob repented of his disobedience, and he started to return the first 10% of his income to God. He was pleasantly surprised to see breakthroughs in many areas of his life. His relationship with his children, his marriage, and even his finances began to improve. Bob thought back to one of the verses that he'd read about the tithe. "Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out my blessing upon you."
Okay, so we're going to go ahead with that and take up the offering. We'll just grab the basket in your row there and pass it down. We have several ways that you can give. Other than just the baskets here, we have a box on the back of the wall that you can drop your gift in on the way out the door. You can also go to our website, which is Lifespring11102019A.org, and there's a giving link there as well. We do appreciate anything that you are able to give. Anything given helps our ministries run for our community and our, not only here locally and our local families, but also across the country and also different countries as well. So appreciate you partnering with us in our mission. We will go ahead and stand and we're going to continue singing this time.
I was lost, but
verse 38 says, "For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other created thing shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Christ Jesus our Lord." I think that pretty much sums everything up. And this bridge that we're getting ready to go into now pretty much talks about that same thing. There's nothing that our God will not do to reach you. Wherever you're at, whatever you're dealing with, there's nothing that He won't do. He goes above and beyond, always, 100% of the time, to bring us back so that we can be with Him. Lord, as we're here to worship you and just be in your presence and to be with others that are here for the same reason. God, that you would be with Pastor Nate as he brings the word. And Lord, that each person in here today would receive something from you. Lord, something that we can take back into our week and that we can think about and that we can pray about. And God, that you would just begin to transform our lives from the inside out. We just love you so much. Thank you for who you are and for what you do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Well, you can be seated. Our first to 8th grade classes, deep in, it's Splash Zone. You guys are dismissed. Go have a good time and enjoy your class. Let's make some noise and say bye to the kids. Thank our teachers. You guys are amazing. Have a good time. And we're going to switch some things up a little bit. We are going to officially welcome you again because our welcome video, 5 of you got to see the welcome video this morning. So the other 50 of you are now going to get to enjoy it as well. So we're going to show this one more time. Get your calendars out.
Hey, I'm Ethan, and welcome to Lifespring. Thank you so much for being here today. If you're new with us, we want you to feel right at home. Heading into the holidays, it is our goal to continue making a positive impact into the community. The truth is, we are better together in reaching as many people for Christ as possible. And here are some great ways to get involved.
Thanks so much to all who came out for our first ever Servant Saturday. We really are better together, and this is a great opportunity to serve our community. Our next one is November 16th from 10 to 2. See Pastor Dave for more details. Each Wednesday during the fall from 6:30 to 7:30 is Fam Night here at the church. Adult Bible study, youth group, and children's activities make it a great time for all ages. We follow the school calendar and we look forward to seeing you there. A great way to get involved and discover your gifts and passions is to attend our pastor's breakfast. We believe the best way to reach families for Christ is together. All you have to do is see someone at our Connect Center and let them know you're interested in getting involved.
So there you have it. Be sure to check out Lifespring11102019A.org.
To your right. Your other right.
And our Good Facebook page for more events as well. To help us connect, please fill out one of these Life Connect cards and take it to the Connect Center just outside that door. You will get a free gift, a personal contact from Pastor Nate himself, and our team leaders will be reaching out to you as well. At this time, please stand and begin our worship.
No, stay seated. There's 2 reasons why I asked Jacob to run that back. One is I really wanted us all to notice a key word, and that announcement was the word together. We are revamping. I believe we should be casting new vision and getting excited about new things that God's doing on a pretty regular basis. And so here, family matters. It's even our Wi-Fi password. You know that's how real we are about that, okay? But we really believe that your family matters, and we want to reach as many families, as many people for Christ as possible. And we're adding one word to our vision and one word to our mission. Anytime you hear us talking about reaching people, reaching families, we're going to use this word together. It's really cool to see what God can do with a church, whether you're a small church, a big church. We need each other. Amen? Amen. So that's a perfect timing, perfect segue into another announcement that I want to make sure we're all aware of. We have a lot of teams that are in place at this church. A lot of moving parts that make it work. Myself could not do half of what we do or even a fourth of what we do as a church because of how many people it takes and how many committed people it takes to do things. We're starting a brand new series today that's a perfect way to get into this. And the series is called Thanks and Giving. Boy, creative, right? November? Okay, all right. Thanks and Giving. What does giving include? We're going to talk a lot about thanks today. Giving includes your finances, it includes your energy, it includes your time, it includes your talents. We believe when we give and we pour out and we are a part of a team, which we break down into many teams based on what you're passionate about, what you like to do, then we believe that we really can reach more people for Christ together. Amen? Amen. So today we're doing something. It's going to be a twofold lunch. We are having serving of lunch today right after church. If you are currently serving on a team, if you've been a part of it as a volunteer, we have our staff. It's our way. We want to, myself and my family and another family, we want to just love on you and thank you for how much you give and how much of your time and everything you take. If you're not currently serving on a team, if you're not currently involved, maybe you're new, maybe it's your very first time here today, or whatever it might be, still come and stay for this lunch because it's a great way to get involved. It's a great way to be a part and see what we're doing. We're going to introduce our team leaders, and you're going to be able to see, like, wow, we have this to offer, that to offer. And what's going to happen is God is going to, if you feel like this wants to be your church and you want to make this a part of your routine and schedule, God's going to show you ways to get involved and to reach more people together. And it's a really, really, really cool thing. And so I just want to make sure you were all aware of that. The other reason I want to show that again, the second thing, first of all, together, we want to reach more people together, is to really re-emphasize November 16th. Everybody say November 16th. November 16th is going to be an awesome day in our church. We've done one so far. We're going to do another. We're going to do these on a regular basis. But we call these Servant Saturdays. And I want to give a special plug for that with it coming up. Being the Thanksgiving holiday, being the holiday time, a lot of people are in need, but also a lot of people are wanting to step up and do more and to help out. So please, it said see Pastor Nate for more details. I'm going to give you some more details. How about that? So everybody gets them. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to spread the word for November 16th. If you know of anyone or yourself that has clothing or canned foods to donate, we are a hub right here on that Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. to drop off donations, okay? And what we do as a church, we will be gathered here all day. We'll be here from 10 to 2 o'clock. But for those first 2 hours, we're going to gather those supplies. And we have partnered with another church. We partnered with like the Upstate Resource Center and different things to where we're going to sort things the way that helps them by delivering them that way. So for an example, our Resource Center has a closet with like professional clothing for people that need clothes for like job interviews and things, and then what they call everyday clothing. Well, guess what happens? If you're like me and my wife, right, we gather our stuff up, we put it all in a big bag or a big whatever, we take it to the Resource Center, we drop it off, we're like, thank you, have a good day. And guess what happens at the Resource Center? And guess what happens at the other clothing places and food drives? Before you know it, you've got a room stocked full of stuff, you don't even have enough people to like sort it all, you don't have enough people to go through it all, which is great. So what we said is, hey, once a quarter, these Servant Saturdays, we'll do that work for you here at the church, and then we'll bring it to you the way that you can just give it and go. So it's a pretty cool concept. It's a really neat thing. We will break out into different work teams ourselves. We will actually go out and serve and hand out the food at a church down the road and work at the Resource Center and do many different things. So everybody repeat after me again. I cannot wait until November 16th.